Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Nat Walsh. We have a fusion card again. If you haven't heard of fusion, you have a sketch, you have a inspiration, and you can use one or the other, or you can use both. Okay. So I'm part of their design team, so this was my card for this fortnight. So we've got a little bit of Stampin' Up sort of bits and pieces in here. So the Stampin' Up stamp set is called It All Starts With Art. Now I've got these scraps just out of my, I have all my cardstock, I have plastic pockets, and I throw all my little bits and pieces in there. For me, that works best rather than having a drawer. So I've roughly cut these down to about 1 centimetre wide. Don't ask me about what that is in inches. I have no idea. And I've also cut them to be centimetre wide, but also about 14.8 centimetres long. So the height of an Aussie A6 card. Okay. I'm eyeballing it, just going down about 1 centimetre or so down the edge. And I'm also marked the centre. And again, just eyeballing it, mark the centre of my crayons, because these are going to be crayons. So I've got some ends here, N7, 5 and 3, and we're just going to use firstly the N5 just to try and give it a little bit of, because a lot of the crayons have that line before you go down into the tip. Down into the tip they have sort of just where it's been melted and molded together sort of thing. Well, not molded together, but you know, where it's been molded. So we've just got a little bit of N5 and I drew a line, and then what I've done is just flicked up a little bit with the N3. Especially with doing this on cardstock, coloured cardstock I should say, you need to give it a little bit of time to dry because obviously you can't see as much. So I'm going through each of my colours and just going down the edges. It takes a little while, obviously, but it's just going to help to give it that rounded look. So just little short flicks, and going down to the N3 is going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so I've done that with all 3 of them, and honestly, between you and me, I got really overzealous and I discovered that I actually did one twice. How does one do that? I don't know, but I did it. This is where our Stampin' Up stamp set is going to come in. We're just taking the sentiment that, and it is follow your art. So not follow your heart, follow your art. Get it? It's good fun. Anyway, VersaFine Black Onyx, we're going to stamp that down with it. We're going to trim that down, and I'm literally going to just eyeball it. There's not much measurements going on here at all. So the image, the inspiration had like a rainbow. So I didn't particularly want to go like a full pelt rainbow thing, but we're obviously clearly going to use part of it. We're going to have a red, blue, and blue, purple, and red crayons. I've mounted up, this one's going to be the middle one, and I've put a strip of foam mount down through the center, and what I'm doing here is just bending that around. I'll show you in a minute. Bending it around just to give it a little bit more, see, can you see that? A little bit of more a curve. I'm going to do the same with the other ones, but I am gluing those down. I'm just trying not to completely flatten the bejeebies out of it. Okay, when we put it down. So we're going to place this down. I'm going to use the bottom because I know they're straight along the bottom, and use my other pencil to help me to figure out where it is, where it's going to go across. We'll bend up the other one, put a little bit of glue. I am putting a fair bit of glue in there because it's not really going to ooze out. Like I think it does a little bit at one of the points, but I'm hoping not to press them so flat that it completely flattens it down, shall we say. So this card is a really simple card, honestly. Down below, I will link over to the Fusion Card Challenge. So I'd love to see your creations over there. So you can go over there, you can post up your cards, and I'd love to check it out. So feel free to do that. Over on my blog, there will be close-up photos of my cards, but this is pretty darn simple. But you know, it's leaving the white space can be good, and we're gonna fill it up a little bit. We're gonna have some interest onto it with a little bit of bling. Here's where I'm going to trim down my sentiment. As I said, I am just literally eyeballing it on, probably honestly just hoping that I'm not going to chop the top of the F off, but I didn't. That does sound a little bit bad, doesn't it? Cut the top of the F off. Or the YouTube checks. I hope that doesn't get flagged or something. Surely not. But anyway, in the drawers next to me, I have a whole bunch of black cardstock that have just been chopped off from different things. I found the perfect width. So yeah, we're going to use that. We're going to use some, just some glue, and then when one side of it's going to be a little bit mounted up and the other side's going to be flat onto the crayons. So I always try and check my scraps before I do anything, just to, otherwise I've got 10 ton of black because when I've made albums, I've got 10 ton of white because I've made one album in white for someone whose daughter passed away, and I didn't particularly want to use black, so we used white. Never again. I was so petrified I was going to leave some sort of mark on it, but I'm still working through the scraps. So I had a little bit of glue oozed out from the center, so we're going to get rid of that with a little bit of the adhesive eraser. So the left hand side of our sentiment is going to be raised up. That way it will be in line with the little purple crayon. I thought about doing the labels on the crayons like in the picture, but yeah, computer said no way, no how, don't do it. So we're going to leave it pretty simple. There was plenty of pictures without the crayons, without the labels, and honestly, I don't know about you, but I for one always I remember, like, you know, from when I was little in kinder and everything else, always taking the labels. I mean, not many people I suppose can remember that far, but I remember it being a thing. It could be that my boys took the crayons, but took the labels off the crayons, who knows. We've got some 5mm Uniquely Creative little clear drops, and I'm going to put those down with a little bit of multi-matte medium and just picking those up with the Crystal Katana. I think I turned my little thing around somewhere. Stick, there we go. Sometimes you just have to talk firmly to it. I'm losing the plot. It's Thursday afternoon, and one of the boys has just come home grumpy, so it's a long day. That's my card. I hope you enjoy. I hope you take care, and all the links will be down below, including the link over to my blog, so you can check it out, and that'd be awesome. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.